Hang on, let me see if I've come true. Hello and good evening and welcome to THFC Till I Die. Let me get that right, sorry. Your home of Tottenham past, present and an exciting future under Ange Postecoglou and Philip. Spurs are back. No more European football. No more watching England play and put us to sleep. No more watching players fall over like they've been shot by Lee Harvey Oswald. Just proper Tottenham football. Thank Christ for that.
I'm not convinced we'll not see a lot of that falling over carried forward into the new season, because normally what happens in the Europeans happens in the leagues that follow. So hopefully not, because there's far too much of it. Really was far too much.
At one point, Philip, I thought players in the Euros were actually taking acting lessons. I mean, Cucurella for one. I mean,
yeah. Well, I think they've all joined equity. You know.
Yeah.
The Actors Union.
No, it was that game last night against England. Look, to all the English viewers, hard luck, unlucky. I think he just came up against a better team, and the better team won. Look, there's a part of me being Irish and being an Irish fan. I want to sit here do the Jeremy Clarkson smug looking face, but I wouldn't think that'd be fair to you fans watching across the pond. But look, somebody said it to me today, Philip, that they may look back on this in years to come as a golden era of the English football team. Do you know that we have Jack Charlton's Italian 90, US 94? We've got Mick McCarthy 2002. Do you know what I mean? Do you think in years to come they will look back and think, do you know what? That was a damn good time.
No. It's different, because I'll tell you why. The expectations for Ireland to win a trophy are virtually nil, right? Our goal is to get to a tournament, right? England's obsession, if you like, since 1966 has been to win another tournament, and they haven't done it. So it will not be looked back. In fact, I think it'll be just the opposite. I think they'll be looking back and cringing for the fact that England did not win a tournament with the players that they've got.
I don't think, I look back on Italian 90 and I don't look back on US 94, not because, Euro 88, not because I thought Ireland were going to win it. I didn't think we did have a chance of winning the tournament, but we went deep in them competitions, beating England in 88, winning against Romania on penalties in 1990, beating Italy in 94. Memories that stay with you for a lifetime. For me, it wasn't about Ireland winning. We didn't have a hope in hell of winning any of them tournaments. But it's the journey of getting there, Philip. Do you know what I mean? And maybe when fathers talk to their sons or sons talk to their sons, that they can look back. Look, I was there when England got the last-minute equaliser against Serbia from Bellingham's overhead kick, or I was there when we beat Holland. Maybe certain bits of matches, memories have been made. And look, I have to say it as well, fair play to the England fans for hating themselves.
Yeah, there's a few fights at home last night. I saw videos of fights in England itself. But anyway, Dermot, no, I don't agree with you. I don't think England will look back on this with any fondness at all. In fact, I think they'll look back with kind of a hatred for Gareth Southgate. You know, it's different. I say it again. It's different for Ireland to get to a quarter-final. That's a brilliant achievement. For England to get there, England expect to get to a final every time now. With the players that they've got, man for man, they were the best team in the tournament. But they weren't a team.
No,
but they weren't a team.
Do you put that down to the manager then?
I put down to the manager playing players in the wrong positions. I put it down to a certain amount of ego. Jude Bellingham, for one. I think that guy's ego is going to be a huge problem for him in the future.
I was watching a podcast earlier and they were talking about Jude Bellingham. And the reason he was doing what he was doing, because he was frustrated.
Well, maybe he was. Maybe he was. But, you know, maybe he was. But he should hide that. He's got to be a bit more mature and hide that, because if you're going to be taken up wrongly if you start showing impetuousness like that, you know.
Do you know what? I sort of disagree with you on that, Philip, because I can understand if you're a player, you've played in the same position all season with Real Madrid and had a really successful season, and you come to the England team and he sticks you out on the left, and you know that's not your best position. I think Gareth
Southgate doesn't play players in the right position.
No. So he has to take. So what does he do? Do you think he should retire? If you're an England fan, would you be asking him to resign?
Who? Southgate?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, and most of them will want him to go.
But he's been offered a new 2-year contract, so
I think that won't go down very well with the majority of England fans, you know. And it's not because it means 2 more years of the same. 2 more years, nearly, but not quite. They need a manager in there that is going to bring that team. Okay, play players in the right positions. Jude Bellingham and Harry Kane cannot play in the same team. It just doesn't work. Now, I know Harry Kane wasn't fit and shouldn't have played at all, but Southgate is loyal and he wouldn't drop his captain, and I can understand that. But maybe in hindsight, he should have maybe left Harry out and brought him on as a sub later on if England needed him. But I don't. Go back to the original question. I don't really. Okay, there's going to be guys who are out in Germany had great crack and remember this, that, and the other. But I'd say they'll remember the drinking sessions more than the matches, because the matches will be most of them.
Yeah, I'd be interested to see what the comments saying. People in the comments actually saying what they think, because look, for me, I think Harry Kane. I think we've seen him in this last major tournament. Personally, I don't think I think he will retire from international.
Well, I think he should. Because the abuse that Harry Kane has taken over the last couple of weeks, I mean, I'm still. I know Harry Kane's left Spurs, but I'm still a big fan of Harry Kane for what he's done. I'm thankful for what he's done for Spurs. What he has done for England over the last 8 or 9 years has been completely forgotten about by most of the fans and the pundits.
I stand by it.
If I was Harry Kane, I would go to the FA, stick it. I'm gone. I'm only playing for the club now.
I stand by what I said as well. By the way, I won't stand down on what I said. I do feel that there is games where you could have put Ollie Watkins on and then brought Harry Kane on for the last 10, 15 minutes or 20 minutes. I think you could have done it that way. I thought when Ollie Watkins came on, he looked, especially against Holland, he tore that Helen defence apart. There was matches last night. I even said in the watch-along, Harry Kane wasn't even jumping for balls. And
he's not fit, Dermot. He shouldn't have been. You can't play a player that's not fit.
Exactly.
Loyalty. That's why he played him. We'll never know exactly why he didn't substitute him earlier. But then Watkins now didn't do a huge amount when he came on last night. I know he was good against the Dutch, but I think the Harry Kane situation is. I mean, let's go back to the time Harry played for Spurs, Dermot. Right, 90% of the other fans in the team hated him. Right. Then he goes for England, becomes England's record goal scorer. Then the first sign of bother when he's not performing to his usual high standard, they're nailing him again. So if I was Harry Kane, I would stick my 2 fingers up to the England fans and say, right, lads, I've had enough. Get someone to replace me and see how good he is.
That's enough about England.
Yeah. No, can I just say, though, I felt England could have won that game last night. And I think the 2-headed off the line in the 89th minute, if one of those had gone in, I think they would have won it because they would have had the momentum going into extra time. But that's the way you get the look of the bounce. Didn't get it.
Yeah, you do. Let's see about a few people in, Philip. My internet has been doing what it normally does, playing up. So I did have a load of PDFs done now. If they can work, we will bring them up. But we've got stuff in the banners anyway about Doue and about Tottenham. We've got Gonzo football and things. Coys. Big up Gonzo. Big up to Killian Kenny. Big up Dermo. Big up Kelly. And we've got FTS and Colin. Big up Colin. It says, big up lads. Come on, you boys in green, says Killian. Yeah, exactly. All moving up to the 7th of September, Philip.
Yeah,
the Iceman.
On the Iceland, Man United got this. Do you see that? I'm not even going to pronounce his name. He's off down to Waterford tonight to try and persuade John O'Shea to become his number 2.
I think he should.
Oh yeah, good point. Good move.
I think. I do you know what? Dave said he felt a bit underwhelmed by it. I'm just glad we got a manager.
Yeah.
I mean, we had a longer search than Daniel Levy was looking for a manager when we got Nuno. We've got Colin saying video footage has come out showing Spain's winner was actually offside.
I don't know. I've seen so many versions of it. And it all looked like that Stone's knee was playing them on,
Well, me and Carl were watching. Carl was on last night with me and Tequila, and me and Carl both said straight away, that's offside.
It looked, I won't say it looked it all right, but when you saw the evidence, it wasn't. But it's very, very tight. Very tight.
Carl Sims, evening, gents. I said at the time it looked, I know you did. Offside to me, I know you did, man. We've got Wayne Bonner. Good evening, one and all. Hope everyone is well. Big up Wayne. Killian saying good night, chance. Oh, good night. Thank you for sticking around. Just hit like button and subscription if you can. And Harry Kane at international level column says is done. It is too physical for him. This tournament has shown that the Bundesliga is a nice league and he should stay there and retire from England.
Yeah, I think that's what he'll do. I think that's what he'll do.
Yeah, I think so too. Philip, let's talk. I just want to talk about the tournament as a whole. Have you enjoyed it as a whole?
Not particularly. It was okay. There was a couple of really, really good matches. There was a lot of very, very achieving matches, one of a better word. And there was a couple of teams that maybe like very extremely disappointing, being like France and Italy. And I think there was maybe only 3 or 4 teams caught my eye, and they needn't necessarily been the ones that actually got anywhere. But I like the look of Georgia. I like to watch Georgia play. I always like to see Croatia playing, and obviously Spain and Germany. They were the ones to watch. France and Italy were absolutely desperate. I mean, Kylian Mbappe confirmed what I think of him, that he's the most overrated player on the planet at the moment. And he did absolutely nothing, really, in that tournament, you know. And France deservedly got nowhere. Yeah.
Do you know he's only scored 2 goals in any European Championships he's played in? Yeah. This was the first tournament he scored in.
Is he a flat track bully? I don't know.
Look, I think the French are a bit like... You remember the Dutch years ago were very temperamental? You always found the Dutch side were a bit arguing among themselves and arguing with the manager. I feel the French team are like that now a bit, to be fair.
Well, I'll tell you, their manager's very arrogant anyway.
Yeah.
Deschamps.
I think football was saved last night. The right team won the tournament. They won 7 out of 7. They played.
Never been done. That's never been done before. That's never been done before in the Europeans. You know?
I think Spain have the right manager, have the right youth. That Yamal for me is going to be a blinder of a player. He is. And also Nico Williams as well. He's going to be a talent. You had the experience of Rodri and Rodrigo as well, who I thought played very well.
And Cucurella played pretty well, all right, as well. For one, that I criticised his inclusion and the fact that our Pedro Porro didn't get in the squad, but he did okay, you know.
And also, Philip, look, we did joke about the diving, but there was a lot of it in this tournament.
There was.
I mean, it looks shocking, in my opinion. It was absolutely disgraceful.
I think it's got to come to the stage where referees have got to be a bit harsher on this diving. Like, when referees see what the contact is, they watching the game, they see if a foul or a coming together warrants the injury that's on the ground. But when they see somebody getting the tap on the ankle and going down holding their face, that's when the book should come out. Booked for simulation, and that's it. That'll put an end to it. Yeah, it's ridiculous. I mean, it's like watching the drama school. It really is.
Well, Philip, a lot's happened since we've last been on. So my camera isn't working. Everything's fallen apart. It's first stream back, and it's like gone to hell. A lot's happened, hasn't it, since Spurs last seen playing? Change of government in the UK. And things like that. So lots happened.
What was it? The 17th of March was the last. 17th of May was the last game. 2 months ago. 2 months ago.
2 months ago.
God.
Got 2 months of you and me were last on the stream together, Philip.
No, we've been on since that, but it's been nothing to do with Tottenham. Watch alongs and stuff. But anyway, it's good to get it back. All I'd like to see now is get the transfer activity going. Now the Europeans are over.
I think so. Carl says completely unfit and out of form. Kane scored more in this tournament than he did.
Yeah, that's right.
He's joint top goal scorer as well. So that's great.
That's quite unbelievable. That that really is.
So, Tottenham are after Doue, but we have now the last bit there. I will read you out the full quote because Philip just quickly put the bit there in the banner. But the full quote is, where is it now? Where did I put it?
I think Bayern might be out of the running now, but
Tottenham, Chelsea are yet to make a move for the youngsters, so Spurs are the favourites to land them. Now Tottenham are in final talks with the players' representatives at the moment, Philip, and also from what I'm hearing, they're in the last talks with Rennes as well. So this deal could break at any time for what I'm hearing. Look, is it a player? Would you be happy to see him at Tottenham? And I think I would, because I think he's a good little player.
He's very highly rated, okay?
Yeah.
Now, the only thing that worries me...
What would you...
Well, I go from the only thing that worries me, as has happened a few times in the past, not just with Spurs, you'll come to an agreement with the player's agent about the wages and the bonuses and whatever. Then the clubs can't agree a deal and the whole thing falls flat. So I hope that's not going to be the case here, you know?
No, I don't think so, because I think Tottenham have now got a team in place that when they start a transfer, it gets completed.
Yeah, that's good.
It's not like with what's his face in the past, where Steve Hitchen, where he leaves it to Levy to finish it up. There's now people in place that will finish off the transfer. Ange has the final say.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Dave asked me tonight, he asked me, do you think Ange would be frustrated with lack of transfers? But I think it's been the same for every club, hasn't it? Right?
Yeah, nobody's really got pushed the boat out that much. There's a lot of talk about players going. United may have signed that fella this evening, you know, that striker from wherever he's coming from. But no, as you said earlier, Dermot, it's all going to happen once the Europeans are over, when players go back to their clubs and there's no distractions. And just another thing, I'd just like to say, we did have two winners at the weekend. Christian Romero and Giovanni Lo Celso won the Copa America with Argentina, and Lo Celso made the winning goal. Absolutely brilliant pass.
So, where are you on Lo Celso?
I keep him, you know. I mean, he turns it on for Argentina. Surely there's got to be a role for him at Tottenham somewhere. But I don't expect him to stay. But I wouldn't be annoyed if he did.
I slightly would be, because I don't think he's really given it all for Tottenham. He's given it all for Argentina, of course he would.
I don't think he's had the chance to him, because he hasn't really been played in his right position, you know.
Well, he has been playing in the right position under Ange, and he hasn't really performed to the level which I saw clips of him last night, today now on YouTube.
Yeah.
And he looked a completely different player.
Well, you see, over in Argentina, he's got the knobs. He knows he's a number one player in that. Well, no, he's not actually. He came on as a sub last night, but he knows he's going to get game time. It's Tottenham. There always seems to be someone in his position that gets in ahead of him. And okay, it's up to him to overcome that, whether he's got the wherewithal or what. But if he does go, I want him to go outside the Premiership, because I do not want him going to Villa and coming back and haunting us, which is no doubt what will happen. You know.
No, look, for me, Philip, Lo Celso for me is I think he should go for his own peace of mind also, because I don't think he hasn't impressed me last season. And you got to think on the previous managers as well, Philip. He was one of the first, or some of the group of players that when a manager was out, he would come in and just go through the motions. Maybe. Where if he was fit for Argentina, he would give it 120%. So,
you'd have to.
That's my opinion.
If you don't give 120% for Argentina, you get a bottle on your head at the end of the match. So, but no, listen, I'd be more concerned. Like man of the match again last night, Christian Romero. If he went, we've got to keep hold of that guy, because he is just class. Yeah. No bookings at all in the competition.
No,
three fouls, no bookings. You know, great player.
It is great play. We've got a few people in the chat. We've got Beast of Tottenham Hotspur. Deal close for Doue. Yeah, it is close from what I'm hearing. Now, Chelsea. I heard this little bit of news today before we got into Højbjerg and Bentancur. Chelsea sold their women's side to one of their other companies, so they could clear off their books.
Oh, creative accounting at its best.
And during the season, Philip, Villa and Chelsea have been doing the same.
Oh yeah, they've been buying players off each other for the same price, 80 million, and it's a joke. The FA has to cop onto that. They really do, because they're making a mockery of things if they're going to start playing games like that.
How did Chelsea have the money to pay for these players? Somehow they do. I don't get it. Carl says the transfers are going to fly now. Yeah, they are. We're going to be very busy between now and now. Based of TH says Chelsea and Villa doing dodgy little deals, a bit like Del Boy and what's his name?
Rodney. I think Del Boy's been made head of transfers at Chelsea.
No, Del Boy and
Boise.
the fella,
Trigger.
so Boise, that's it.
Boise, yeah. I think Boise got the job at Villa, and Del Boy's doing Chelsea.
Yeah, I actually do think so.
Oh, God.
Carl says Lo Celso needs to be kept. We need to keep him fit, give him some love, and see what happens. I'm done with him now. I think he should go now.
By the way, Dermot, Trigger's going to Arsenal, right?
Oh, that's good. Though he was a massive Spurs fan, by the way.
I know he was, yeah. I know. And 10 years dead last week to Roger Lloyd.
Yeah, I know. Shocking. Yeah. Who would you leave out to play Lo Celso? Well, this is the thing. If Maddison's playing well, if probably you would put what? Basuma in that role.
You have the new kid coming in too. Bergveld's coming in.
I don't expect too much from Bergveld this season, to be fair, Philip.
Oh, I have huge expectations for this guy, Dermot.
I really have.
I've seen what he can do, Dermot. I've seen what he can do.
But
he's a breath of fresh air.
Yeah, you may can see what he does, but the Premier League is a total different kettle of fish to what you can do with training or what you can do in the Swedish league.
We'll see.
He's playing in a faster league.
How he does. We'll see how he does.
I want him to do well. Don't get me wrong.
You're always on about bringing in the kids. Here's an absolute perfect opportunity to do it.
Yeah, but you had the kids bringing them last year, Mikey Moore.
Yeah, Mikey Moore is going to make it in the first team this season. He's going to be in the first team squad. And also Bergveld, I think. We didn't buy Bergveld against competition from Barcelona and other teams without looking at him and thinking this is the guy. I hope you're wrong here, Dermot. I hope that I'm right that he's not going to play every match, but when he does play, just watch him go.
I just don't want to look. I want him to do well. I want him to succeed, but I don't want to put too much pressure on him already, Philip. I want him to give him the time to grow and get used to the Premier League. That's what I want.
Well, he's going in the first team squad, so he's not going to the 21s. So he's going to be there. I
want him to. I don't want to be enough pressure on his shoulders to the point where I just want him to. I want to give him time to settle, and it's a new league. It's new everything, and you've got Archie Gray as well. I think moving to bigger clubs, Philip, is a lot different. It's a big move for any player and a young player as well. When you move from a slightly small to a big club, so you need to give him time. I understand your excitement of him. I've seen the videos of him as well, and I'm excited. I'm excited about Archie Gray, but you need to give him time, let him settle, and then we'll see what he does. Let him have a good pre-season, and then. Who knows? Sky the limits.
Yeah, but I'm worried, Dermot. We thought 3 years ago we were saying the same about Troy Parrott, and look what happened to him. There comes a time when you've got to make your mind: is this kid good enough to throw in at the deep end? And I have a feeling Bergveld is going to be one. Maybe him and Mikey Moore. They're the two we're going to be talking about most.
And Archie Gray as well. By the
way. Actually, I mean, geez, 40 million quid. We should be talking about him. But he's got a lot. He's got a lot of experience in the Championship, which is, in a lot of ways, is a tougher league in the Premiership to play in.
It is. It really is. Big up the column says Chelsea have found funds from an investing company from America. Guess who are they owned by? Go on, Philip. Who are they owned by?
Billy Smart Circus. No, Todd Bowley. Todd
himself.
Bowley has to be. Yeah.
Now, apparently, Carla says we have been linked with Paredes to replace Højbjerg. Is Romero in this?
Bring him in.
He's Romero in this. Yeah, we imagine what they've been doing. Yeah.
Well, I hope the guys have been doing a bit of selling Tottenham out on the tour.
I'd say they have, Philip. Carl says, Colin, the corruption is peak. Colin is saying it will be investigated by the FA, cracking down on any of this.
Yeah.
About time too.
And no messing around. Big points deduction with no appeal for things like that.
Apparently, Archie Gray and Bergveld have been something else. And I've seen some of the videos.
Yeah.
That Archie Gray for me, I was so happy when that deal got in. When that was announced, I thought about time. I apologize to look a bit lower. I've had to get a new chair because of my back. My recliner's broke. So I'm sort of sitting with one leg lower and one leg higher. I look like something out of a pirate film. So I'm going to have to fix it after the stream. So if I look a bit lower, it's not because I'm sitting lower. It's because
it's Johnny Depp.
It's Johnny Depp. Yeah, I'm the one-legged man. Ange likes you. Big up to Christopher. I hope you're doing well, sir. And the Beast of the East says, I like musical youth.
Jeez, that's gone back a bit. Past the Dutchie from the left-hand side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then past the... Oh, yeah, there you go. From Carl. Now, Højbjerg and Bentancur. Now, Philip. Mourinho, Mr. Jose, over in Fenerbahce in Turkey, has taken a liking to Højbjerg and Bentancur. Now, what do you think to this? Now, Højbjerg, I think he will go because he'd be guaranteed first-team football. And we know Mourinho loves Højbjerg. But Bentancur,
no.
Do you think he'd go?
No. Højbjerg probably will. I don't think Højbjerg will be in big demand because he played very well in the Europeans man of the match against England. I don't think Bentancur will. Bentancur played well for Uruguay as well. So of those two, I think Bentancur would be the better player to keep. Pierre wants to go, so let him go.
Look, if you look at Bentancur now, he made some stupid comments in the Copa America about Sonny.
But that's been kind of...
No. What I'm going to say there was a precedent put up for this, and I only found this out tonight, that Eric Dyer and somebody else at the time made some comments about when it was around the pandemic and got banned for 3 matches. There is an expectation Bentancur could be given a 2-match ban.
Well, I mean, he apologized. I think it was a lesser offense than what maybe Dyer said. I remember what Dyer said. I'm all for clamping down on racism and all that, absolutely 100%. But there are levels of it, and he was at a lower level. And if he gets a ban, it'll be harsh. Maybe he will. We've no control over it. Maybe he will. He's apologized to Sonny. Sonny's accepted his apology. If we're going to make an issue of it, fair enough. But there's bigger things we make an issue of. There's bigger elements of racism going on that are going away unpunished.
I look, personally, my own opinion, any racism from either that big to big ones should be all dealt with the same. And personally,
you're saying this, but it can't be. You can't give someone a 15-match ban for coming out with something minor, whereas somebody might say something a lot more serious and gets the same. It's got to be a sliding scale. It's got to be a sliding scale.
In my view, Philip, I don't agree with that because any form of racism, either small to big, is still racism. It still shouldn't be said.
You're missing the point. You're missing the point. What he said was, all people look the same.
So
right.
If somebody...
Fair enough. Hold on. Let me finish. All people look the same. Right. Is that as bad as calling someone a black bee?
Yeah. In my opinion,
come on. Yeah. How can it be? It can't be, Dermot. It can't
You can have one rule. Say for somebody says something small. You can have one rule for him and then, don't worry, because he only said something small, we'll let him off. But if somebody says something big, you got to have the same for everyone. It doesn't matter from small to big.
Okay, bring it to the courts, right? Somebody's in for shoplifting and someone's in for murder. They both get life imprisonment. Is that fair?
It's not an example.
It is. No, hold on. There's different level. What he said was very minor. It was racism, but it was a minor version of it. There's a lot worse being said getting away.
Yeah, but if the FA are trying to kick racism out of football, right?
Punish him. If they feel he should be punished, fair enough, right?
Yeah.
But the ban he gets should be a lot less than what other people are saying.
Why did he? If you're going by your logic that what he said wasn't bad, why did he have to apologize then?
Because it was marginally racist, and he was dead right to apologize. He had to apologize. He was man enough to apologize, right? That's it. But that's the end. As far as I'm concerned, that should be the end of the matter. If he gets a ban, fair enough. It's harsh. But I'll tell you one thing: there's far worse things said on the football pitch to black players, and that aren't going punished.
Look,
so I don't think you cannot say everyone should get the same punishment.
To be fair, Philip, when I was younger in England, I got a lot of racist abuse because of my parents were Irish.
Yeah,
and I'm sure you did as well. Irish.
Yeah, but we're not talking about the end of it. We're talking about what's controllable by the FA.
I'm making an
we couldn't run off. We couldn't run off to the FA and ban that fella. He called me something or other. Couldn't do
but
that.
It should be. There should be in this day and age. There's a lot of education out there. There's a lot of footballers being educated in what to say and what not to say. There shouldn't be any sort of, if you want to start a campaign of kicking racism out of the sport, out of football, which we should do, from the terraces or from players. Fans lead by players' example. if a fan is racist in the stands, you have every right to go to a steward to tell him that man was racist, to get him kicked out of the stadium. It doesn't matter if he's called them done a sign or whatever. It's not acceptable. I understand where you're coming from, and I get your point of view, which you are making. But my point is, you go for one. You either do one for all. If you start doing it on a sliding scale, then you're not getting out your message, what you want him to get out. All this taking the knee at football matches, before matches, during COVID. All of this kick racism for years, for decades. The football has never been able to kick racism out of football because it's never done it consistently.
It'll never be kicked out. It'll never be kicked out. It'll always be there. It'll always be there. It might not be as prevalent as it has been. It'll always be there. But I'm going to stick to my point. We'll finish it here. I'm going to stick to my point. I want players punished for racist remarks, but I want it done on the severity of what they said. Not everybody gets the same punishment, because that is not fair. There are far worse things. There are really insulting things that can be said. And you say they're going to get the same punishment as Benton, because they all look the same. You know, it's not right. It's not right.
Look, I'd love to know what people think of it in the chat, actually.
No, I'd rather we moved on to it, because I'm going to get annoyed if we keep going on this, because we've talked enough about it, and I think we can flog it to death. Put the comments in the chat if you want, but I'm not changing my position on it.
Here in personal terms, agreed with AC Milan. Tottenham Hotspur right back Emerson Royal has made it clear he wants to be allowed to make the move to summer. So he has agreed personal terms with AC Milan. Tottenham want 20 million. I think it might be 15 million plus 5 million add-ons to get that deal over the line.
Well, that's still 20 million. Spurs won't 15 million is all we'll get from him. We're not getting any more.
Plus 5 million add-on. And
I don't know, will we get the add-ons even? 2.5 million, maybe. 17 million, maybe. 17 million.
Yeah, and also Arsenal reportedly have contacted Crystal Palace for Eze for a potential transfer, but Eze seems to favour a move to Tottenham. Now, Fabrizio Romero today has also come out. I did actually have it's for Eze and Neto, and I'm really annoyed because I had the PDF done. That both of them want to come to Tottenham. Both of them want the deals done. So, do you think we'll get some done before we go off on our Far East tour? I think next Monday, Tuesday we leave. Or do you think they will be done during the transfer, during the tour? But can you see one or two coming? Eze and Neto, or just one?
I've no idea, Dom. I really don't know. I mean, like, you're talking about maybe 110 million for the two of them, roughly. We got that. We have that money to spend, but will we spend it? I don't know. I've gone cold on Eze. I don't think Eze's coming. I really don't.
I'm hearing.
I just get the feeling that it's you know, he could have if Arsenal's coming in for him, right? Again, the Champions League carrot is going to be dangled in front of him, right? He's played in the European Championship. He's got the taste for the big games now. So if he's a choice between Tottenham and Arsenal, I think he's going to choose Arsenal. Really do.
I don't. Well, he doesn't. Well, I've just been told that he doesn't want to move to Arsenal. He favours Tottenham.
Well, maybe he does. Hopefully he does. But the problem there is, if Arsenal come along and give Palace the asking price, what's going to happen then? We don't. Yeah, but he's going to be under pressure. He's going to be under pressure to accept the bid. You know.
The player still doesn't have to go. I understand what you're saying. If you could only pick one, who would you pick? If you had to
probably
pick
Neto.
One,
probably Neto.
Where would he fit into Ranchi's system?
Well, obviously he must. And they wouldn't be looking at him if he wasn't a suitable candidate for Ange's system. I don't know. I don't know. I can't explain why I've gone cold on Eze, really. I just don't know what. There's something in the back of my mind saying, no, I'd rather not. I'll tell you one thing. Yeah. I'd nearly rather buy Ivan Toney than Neto, than Eze. There's nothing he did in the Europeans impressed me that much.
I tell you what, a lot of people. I've been very critical of Ivan Toney, but I think he deserves redemption. I really do. You look. I always go back to Tony Adams, how he came back from his alcoholism, and how he did his stint in prison, and he came back under Arsene Wenger, and he redeemed himself. Paul Merson, I know he's your favourite pundit, Philip. I know you love watching him. He did so as way a little bit as well. So, do you think Ivan Toney, if he went to Tottenham, would you have that in your head? Is he betting against us? Would, as a fan, be honest, would that be in your mind if we signed Ivan Toney and he missed a sitter? Would it come into your head? Has he bet against us? Has he bet himself? Has he bet against himself scoring?
No, it wouldn't, because I'll tell you why. Unless he's a complete moron, he's learned his lesson. He knows what will happen if he's caught again. He'll be banned for life.
Well, you look at the Newcastle play.
The Newcastle play is going to be banned for life, I think. But that was far more serious. That was a far more serious than getting booked deliberately. So
I think so.
I think if Tony came, I think give a dog a bad name and it'll stick. But I think if Tony comes to Tottenham, he sees this as redemption, forgiveness of what he's done, and he'd be very, very surprised if he reoffended.
Yeah,
in fact, I'll be amazed.
We're looking at the striker role, right? If you look at Ivan Toney, Ollie Watkins, Gimenez, out of the three, I would prefer Ollie Watkins. Just my own personal opinion, right?
Yeah.
Just me
own personal opinion. No, there's no hope of getting him. But he probably would be my choice as well.
Do you feel Ange has a big pulling factor? He did up in Celtic, Philip.
Yeah, but
listen, and this is the problem. Dermot, we've seen what Ange can do, can't we? We've seen it, and this is the problem. We've lived and breathed Ange Postecoglou for how long? 4 or 5 years, haven't we?
Well, 3 years. 3 years anyway.
3 years. We know what this man can do.
Yeah, but I don't think he'll persuade Watkins to leave Villa. That's one. I don't think even Ange is that persuasive. There's no talk of Watkins want to go anywhere. The fact now that he's broken into the England team, and the fact that Villa are in the Champions League again, why would he leave them?
I think he'll be in the Champions League next year. I don't think Villa will, actually. I think
but you can only go on what's ahead of you this year. And Watkins had a good season last year. The Villa fans love him. There's absolutely no reason why you want to leave Villa Park, you know?
Yeah. So it's right then. Tony or Gimenez, which one? If you could pick one, who would you pick?
Well, I just give the nod to Tony purely because of his Premier League experience.
Yeah, exactly. I think I'd have to go with you, Philip. Yeah. I think for me, that I've missed our debates, by the way. I do love them. I do love the debates.
I'm in fighting mood these days, Dermot. So
I tell you one thing, Philip. I've missed them. I've absolutely missed our debates. Big up to Tequila as well. He says movement in my bowels, but that's another story. But that's the way to start, Tequila.
Have to bring the tone of the conversation right down. Go on.
He did say big up, Dermot. If you want to join us, Tequila, more than welcome. You know you can jump on, sir. We should be all over a minute for 12 minutes. Yeah, this is Fabrizio Romero. I had this in my PDF as well. That Nottingham Forest closing on the deal. They signed Mitrovic from Fiorentina for 12 million. Also. The Burnley goalkeeper is going as well. For the life of me, I can't remember.
Trafford,
where he's.
No. James Trafford, no.
No. Music is leaving Burnley to go to Ipswich for 2 million.
Yeah, the other guy. Yeah.
Ipswich will pay an initial 8 million plus an extra 2 million in potential fees. And Manchester United have been busy, Philip. Man United tipped for a busy summer, kicked off by spending on Sunday by announcing the 36 million signing of striker Joshua Zachary from Italian side Bologna. The Red Devils are also pursuing De Ligt after agreeing personal terms with the Bayern Munich defender, who's not only the centre back they are keen to sign. Eric Ten Hag and co are waiting on the decision from the in-demand Lenny Uno, who Spanish giants Real Madrid also want to bring in from Lille. Speaking of centre-backs, Arsenal are pushing to sign Ricardo Canafinha and Zachary's former teammate at Bologna after an impressive 12 months for club and country. There's other bit of news as well. Fenerbahce, Philip, a representative. So Mourinho's not after going for Bentancur and Højbjerg. He's also after Jespersen Lema from Crystal Palace as well. So he looks like he's going to raid the Premier League, Mourinho, for players. Now, this one, Philip, I think this is a player close to our hearts, Dele Alli. He's now, Dele Alli's back in training with Everton. he could potentially be offered a new contract to rejoin the club because he is out of contract, Philip.
Yeah, that's right.
If he signs a new deal with Everton, it would be on a free transfer. But if the Toffees go on to sell him at a future date, Tottenham would be due a payment. Now, he has been seen. Everton are playing Shelbourne in the pre-season friendly. He has gone to Shelbourne with the Everton squad.
When's that on? Tomorrow night?
Tomorrow night, I think.
Oh,
what is your hopes for Dele Alli? Look, he's come out and said he wants to be in the World Cup squad for 2026. If he gets there, Philip, that'd be a rocky story within itself.
Be the greatest resurrection since Lazarus.
Yeah, but what do you want to see from Dele? I just want him to be happy and enjoys football again.
He's been through a lot. He's been through a lot the last couple of years. I wish the lad well. I mean, he was a genius for us when we had him. We saw the best of Dele Alli. I don't think he'll ever be as good as that again.
We did.
But no, but I hope he does it. He's a good lad. He's a nice lad. And Everton, we just hope we look after him.
Yeah, I do. And look, what do you think of Man United's sort of signings so far, Philip? Are they a team you should be worried about?
Not overly concerned about them, to be honest. I think Man United will always have good players, but will they have a good team? I'm not so convinced Ten Hag is the man to do. I know they won the FA Cup this year, but that was more by luck than judgment. You know, they were 10 seconds from going. They were half an inch from going out of the cup to Coventry in the semi-final.
Yeah.
I don't think so. No, I think they'll be reasonably okay, but I think Ten Hag has another season of building to do before they really start going places.
Yeah, I'm going to bring up Boris's comment, but I think that's a very good point. I'm going to bring that up in a minute, but he starts with Villa won't sell Watkins for less than 120, 130 million due to Champions League. And nobody knows how the manager wants him to play. He is guaranteed number one striker. But I would love him at Tottenham, though. I think he had I tell you who had a good tournament was John Stones.
He did, very good.
And the goalkeeper as well, to be fair. Pickford. I thought Pickford done well. Is there any other players that stood out for you that had a good tournament?
In the England team?
Yeah.
Kind of hard to fit. I suppose Cole Palmer. Cole Palmer did very well when he came on.
Yeah. That Crystal Palace centre back as well. He had a really
Dewey, he was good. Yeah. He was good. Yeah, he was. And Minu was good too. You know, Minu. But they made the mistake of taking them off last night. They shouldn't have took them off.
Somebody said in the comment, right? It was your shadow boxing partner, David Clark, your old mucker, said that Minu was useless basically.
No, Manu was one of the successes of the England team, I think.
He was.
Like for a 19-year-old to come in from nowhere to do what he did, I think fair dues to the lad, you know?
Yeah. Alan Shearer called them a moments team. We're nearly at the end of the show, so I think I want to end in this question.
Moments.
Alan Shearer called them a moments team. Would you agree with that?
I'm not quite sure what he means by that. I mean,
they didn't play consistently all through the.
Oh yeah, they had. Oh yeah, sorry, yeah. I mean, they were spasmodic. They played in patches. They played when they had to play, but didn't. Like against Slovakia, they were within 15, 20 seconds of going out of the tournament. So you've got to admire the way they came back there. Probably that was the only class moment of the whole tournament for England was the goal by Bellingham. Maybe add that to Cole Palmer's goal last night, which took a slight deflection, which helped it. But a good goal, no doubt about it. But no, I think Harry Kane will be gutted that another season's gone by without a trophy. The England team, or the England management team, take a good hard look at themselves now to see do they really want to carry this on, because I don't think England will win a tournament until they change manager. Yeah,
well, let's hope Ireland are in the next tournament, because it's very boring without Ireland there, to be fair for them. And the next one's in Ireland as well, to be fair. So
that's right.
Boris, very quickly, I feel COVID and Jose took Dele over the edge with his substance and mental health issue. I sort of agree with that. And then Carl says, I think the whole Premier League will be stronger next season. This is why it's so important for us to get it right.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Philip, we're back on Wednesday with our first watch-along. Hearts versus Tottenham Hotspur. First one of a very long season. We're in for a long season this year. You looking forward to seeing Spurs play again?
Yeah, I'd be interested to see what sort of team they put out. I'd say it'd probably be two teams, one each half.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Excuse me.
Bless you.
Yeah, it'll be good. Hearts are probably a week ahead, a week or maybe 2 weeks further along in training. So I'm not expecting any great, flowing football from Tottenham because we're only back a week. So, but no, it'd be good to see them playing again, and it's good to see them going back up to Scotland to give the locals up there a chance to see Ange playing back up there again.
Yeah, I think so. Just to welcome Ange back. Oh, Philip, look, that's the first show done. We're back in business. It's the first Tottenham show done and the first Transfer Talks episode 2. What are you hoping for? So you're going to be for the first half here on Wednesday, aren't you?
I'll be here till about 8 o'clock or so. Yeah.
For the Hearts game. Thursday we're back at 7. We're back at 6 or 7. I can't remember when we are. Friday 1 at 9 with the Cockerel Clock podcast, where we're going to look back at the Hearts game. We'll look ahead to the QPR game on Saturday. Do a little bit of a match build up. In between then, we've got transfer tippets from Tequila, where Tequila will go over your transfer news from everywhere around. But if you can do, guys, we do have a new channel for the new season for everything bar Spurs. So this channel is just becoming Tottenham only. That's it. But this new channel is becoming the home of European everything bar Tottenham. It's called European Football Network, TRD. So please come over. And this is what we will be showing on our new channel. So if you want to join the football revolution, I think that's quite catchy. This is where you'll find everything else over there on that channel. La Liga, Bundesliga. Any games you're looking forward this year in the Bundesliga, Philip? La Liga?
Well, obviously, Bayern Munich versus Leverkusen and Dortmund, that type of game, yeah. And Real Madrid versus Barcelona, obviously.
Yeah. And of course, Serie A as well with the Milan derbies, Lazio, Napoli. Yeah. League of Ireland, we're going to cover a lot more of League of Ireland as well. All the internationals will be over on that channel as well. So we're going to cover every Ireland game. Tequila will cover every England game as well. For you England fans, and every non-Tottenham FA Cup, Carling Cup, Champions League will be on that channel, and anything Spurs are in will be here. We thought we just separated it because it was getting a bit contested, wasn't it? Everything was on this channel, wasn't it? And we were losing our identity a bit, weren't we?
Yeah,
in a little way.
Yeah, true,
so we come up with this plan of giving you get more football, guys. We get double the work, and you get more football. So, who's the winner? You're the winner. At the end of the day, you get more Dermatron, you get more Philip the Godfather, you get more of Tequila the Great, and you get Conor the Man United fan. What more do you want? And Bobby as well when he makes an appearance.
I think we should finish off on this comment from Boris. I think we all agree with this.
Yeah. Van der Vaart was one of the club legends and said the most useful player in the England squad was...
Egg fried.
Egg fried. I tell you now, Philip, I refuse to mention his name. Though between Carl and Tequila last night, they were trying to trip me up more than once.
Yeah.
I actually at one point I went egg fried. I nearly tripped myself on. But listen, we are back tomorrow night. I think we're back at 6. Me and Tequila. I don't know, 6 or 7. We're back tomorrow night with all the transfer latest news, all the news. We're on at 10 with transfer tippets. So please watch out for that. Whatever you're doing, please enjoy the rest of the evening. Thank you for joining us. Please like and subscribe as we look to go to 2K. Let's make Philip a happy camper on the first day of the Premier League season, and we're at 2K. Philip has promised to do cartwheels if we get to 2K for the first time.
You're the one that's doing the bets on this.
Now, very quickly, Philip, before we go, and we are going, I'm doing the U now. I'm going, right? The bet has taken a bit of a twist, hasn't it? Now, Amnesty's got involved, haven't they?
Yeah, the Amnesty International got on. They said it was too cruel. It was too cruel to ask Dermot to wear an England or an Arsenal shirt. They said it was a human rights abuse gone mad. So they've rescinded it down a little bit now.
Yeah. So what it is, if England beat Ireland, I will wear an England shirt on the next Ireland International. There you go. That's with Declan Rice on the back. And I've said his name. Okay. So okay. So that is what it is. I will do that. I will get his shirt and I won't wear it. I'll put it behind me and I will have it there. And then I'll promptly burn it after the stream. And I'll video me burning it.
Burn it online.
I will burn it online. Anyway, big up to everyone. As I said, happy to assist with Syria. Boris, would love to have you on, mate. It'd be great. And also the Dutch League as well. See how Troy Parry gets on.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, have to get a Rice shirt and wear the same head as the you fecker. You fecker tequila. Anyway, take care. Thank you very much for watching. Please like and subscribe, and we're back tomorrow. Come on, you Spurs and Big Ange, we trust.